Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram.
Krishna मैंने कहा माता जी. मैंने कहा माता जी are you there?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mahatma, sorry for the late. I think we can get started, Mahatma. I am sharing the screen. Please start, Mother.
During December and January, Abhi prepared a League of Devotees charters. He wanted to begin vigorous, extensive preaching, following the example of his spiritual master. Once he began to set his goals to paper, the project immediately began to expand beyond Jhansi, beyond India. Of course, the League of Devotees was for the young people of Jhansi. They were already expressing great interest, but Abhi's charter described more than merely evening classes and kirtana. It was a broad scheme including a description of the four orders of society: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, and Sudra, and detailed plans to accommodate a worldwide religious movement. The charter set forth a probationary period for prospective members. It described spiritual initiation. It arranged for an economic reciprocation between the individual members and the League. It arranged to provide lodgings for preachers and to define prohibited activities, illegitimate connection with women, intoxicating habit, diets other than regulated strictly on vegetable kingdom, gambling, and unnecessary sporting or recreation enterprises. To establish his league with the registrar in Lucknow, Abhi required a memorandum of association signed by the league members. In this document, which was to list the objectives of the society. Abhi expressed his vision for the continuation of his spiritual master's mission. Like his godbrothers who had created new matas after the dissolution of the Gaudiya Mat, Abhi was forming a new branch of the Gaudiya Sampradaya to be called the League of Devotees. He was not simply claiming proprietorship of a new building, he was establishing a Krishna consciousness society that would expand into a world movement. His intentions were clearly not insular, but were directed toward creating centers for spiritual development all over the world. Abhi wrote, Lord Chaitanya revealed the transcendental process of approaching the absolute Godhead, and in his teachings, nothing appears to be absurd from the point of human reasoning, and nothing against any religion as accepted by the human and civilized world. In enumerating the League's goals, he included the opening of centers in all parts of the world, thus establishing the League as an international organization for spiritual developments through education. Culture as also by recruiting members from all nations, creeds, and castes. The League would publish literature in many languages and print monthly magazines. Back to Godhead. Abhi obtained the necessary signatures for his memorandum of association. He then took the train to Lucknow and on February 4th paid the deposit of 50 rupees and filed his application. He returned to Jhansi. In his room in the Radha Memorial, Abhi would rise daily at 4 a.m. and rouse his young brother, Prabupada Misra. From 4 to 5, Abhi would write, and at 5 he would walk in the Antyatal area. At 5:30, bathe and then chant Hare Krishna on his beads until 7. When he would hold a class on the Chaitanya Karitmatra or Srimad Bhagavatam, although Prabhupada Misra was usually the only listener. At 8, he would return to his itinerary work, typing until after 10, typing until after 10 when he would begin to prepare a meal. In the afternoon, he would often go around Jhansi meeting people and preaching, looking for anyone willing to take part in the League of Devotees. In the early evening, he would write until 7, when he would prepare for the kirtana and lecture. He would hold at one of various places in the city, depending on where he was invited. Although Abi had no money for continuing back to Godhead, a well-established part of his preaching was to write essays, regardless of whether they were to be immediately published or not. He would write a long essay, some 24,000 words, entitled Message of Godhead. He also wrote a series of chapters propounding the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, especially as they applied to world problems, the science of devotion, a summary study of Rupa Goswami Bhakti Rasmata Sindhu. On May 16, 1953, Abi held a grand opening celebration for the League of Devotees with continuous readings, kirtana, and prasadam. Distribution from early morning until night. The buildings were decorated with leaves, flowers, and many earthen water pots. In the evening, when attendance was the greatest, Abi lectured from the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Naraja Guja Yoga. Prabupada Misra conducted a fire sacrifice, and several brahmanas chanted mantras from Brahma Samhita. Guests received a 16-page prospectus containing Abi's essay on the need for the League and an excerpt from the charter explaining its goals. It was signed Om Tat Sat. Abi Chiranan Naravindu Bhaktivedanta, founder and secretary. The opening was a pleasant, auspicious event for the people of Jhansi, and hundreds gathered in the evening for Abi's lecture. Dr. Sharma, a charter member of the League and editor of Jhansi Daily newspaper, had already publicized the event and was planning a write-up for the following day. The Gaudiya Partrika also reported on the opening.
We can stop here, Vadim. We can stop.